on the road looking for a little more consistency. They gave up 83 points in the first half to the Hawks and then held them to just 35 in the second half on Sunday. That second half defense helped the Spurs come back to win at 126-118. Devin Keldon asked what they thought Pop was really trying to say. Ooh, you know Pop had a few choice words when they trailed 83-61 because whatever he said worked. They responded, so you have to wonder what words he chose and how he presented them. 20-year-old rookie Blake Wesley stepped up big time in the fourth quarter, scoring 5 straight points to put the Spurs on top for good Sunday. All right, so here's your matchup for Game 1 of a very long road trip. They take on New Orleans tonight, 7 o'clock at the Smoothie King Center. Hey, San Antonio FC is on one of those serious rolls. Their unbeaten streak has now reached 13 straight after a 1-1 draw with Landown United FC in Virginia. He scored first in the 35th minute, taking a 1-0 lead at halftime, but SCFC leveled the match at 55th minute thanks to Nako in his first goal of the season. San Antonio earned a point, but they feel like they should have picked up at least 3.
It's a quiet locker room. We know what it takes to win championships, and that's winning on the road. We did a really good job of that last year, but that was last year. Now this year it's about finding ways to win, finding ways to get points. This is a team that wins, so it feels a bit like a loss.
Oh, I got some new guys on the team trying to get it all figured out. So you'll take that 1-0-1 record, 4 points. They'll host Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC Saturday, 7:30 at Toyota Field.
Russia and China, they're having talks. They're hoping to reach a peace proposal. We're going to go into detail about why some U.S. experts, are calling the trip nothing more than a stalling tactic. Russia rolling out the red carpet for the visiting Chinese president. This marking the second day that the two leaders sit together side by side as their anthems play. It is the first trip to Moscow since Russia invaded Ukraine for the Chinese president. The two leaders shook hands days after the criminal court charged Putin with war crimes. And they talked for hours last night as Putin's forces continued struggling in their efforts with Ukraine, sending a drone strike to Crimea. And while they spoke, Xi flew to Moscow with so-called peace proposals that supports Russia's narrative. But the U.S. Secretary of State is calling the proposal a mere stalling tactic.
Calling for a ceasefire that does not include the removal of Russian forces from Ukrainian territory would effectively be supporting the ratification of Russian conquest.
Reports say that Xi may contact Ukrainian President Zelensky following this trip to Moscow, but experts say China does not have a detailed plan to end the war.
President Biden signed a bill this week that will declassify information on the origins of COVID. It unanimously passed both chambers of Congress earlier this month. It orders the National Intelligence Director to declassify all information connecting coronavirus to that Wuhan lab in China. But information that could compromise the safety of the U.S. will remain classified. Some members of the U.S. intelligence community believe researchers at the institution actually released it, while others think it originated in an animal.
The pandemic affecting people's health in so many ways. A new study showing that Americans are walking less since COVID started. From a research program by the National Institutes of Health, 5,500 participants had their step count data analyzed, and it showed a sharp decline in about 600 steps compared to the numbers before the pandemic. Factors like working from home played a part in that drop. And remember, health experts say that at least 30 minutes of walking a day can significantly improve your health. The indictment for former President Donald Trump continuing, with him claiming he'll be arrested. There's no evidence that that's going to happen, however. The Manhattan DA is wrapping up a criminal investigation of Trump, giving porn star Stormy Daniels hush money during his 2016 campaign. ABC's Rena Roy on how authorities are on alert for whatever might happen after this trial ends.
Metal barriers going up around this New York City courthouse after former President Donald Trump calls on his supporters to protest if he's indicted in the Manhattan DA's criminal investigation, looking into hush money payments made to adult film actress Stormy Daniels ahead of the 2016 election. Trump releasing an insult-filled statement on social media about prosecutors and Daniels after earlier making an unverified claim that he would be arrested today in connection to the case. Attorney Bob Costello taking the stand in defense of Trump Monday, testifying before the grand jury.
The only thing I'm doing is trying to tell the truth to the grand jurors. If they want to go after Donald Trump and they have solid evidence, so be it. But Michael Cohen is far from solid evidence.
Michael Cohen, Trump's former fixer, also testifying last week about the $130,000 check he wrote to Daniels a month before the election, he says at Trump's direction, later serving federal prison time in part for that payment. Experts say the payment may have violated campaign finance laws. Trump's legal team saying he paid Daniels to protect his family.
They're going to say he didn't know that it was being registered as legal expenses. The prosecution, of course, will come forward and say we have evidence that Donald Trump knew exactly what this was about.
Republicans, including one of Trump's potential 2024 rivals, said the potential indictment is purely political, blasting the Manhattan DA.
They weaponize their office to impose a political agenda on society.
Following Trump's calls for protest, intelligence bulletins obtained by ABC News warn of a significant increase in threats and general violent rhetoric and say some of Trump's most ardent supporters are still willing to fight on his behalf.
This is just one of several investigations into former President Trump, including a federal investigation involving the potential mishandling of classified documents and obstruction of justice. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Fox News continues facing legal trouble, this time from one of their own news producers. Abby Grossberg filed a pair of lawsuits against Fox News this week. She accuses the network's attorneys of coercing her into providing misleading testimony during her deposition in the Dominion Voting Systems defamation case against Fox. Grossberg most recently worked as head of booking for Tucker Carlson. A network spokesperson argued against her claims, saying she's making those allegations after a poor performance review. Grossberg disagrees.
Let's take another look outside. Is the sun out? That would be a no.
Not even close. Not even close. It's still gray. It's still kind of gloomy out there. We've still got some drizzle coming down in spots. It's still going to be wet for a while longer. We'll probably do some drizzle again tomorrow morning, too. I want to take you guys back 1 year, actually to 2022, not 2021, but 2022. We had a tornado outbreak here around South Texas. If you remember this, there was a ton of tornadoes around Austin, but we had one that touched down near Kingsbury, an EF2 tornado. And there were more than 50 tornado reports in general. There's a lot of damage. That picture is from a house near Kingsbury where there was some significant damage from a tornado. So really busy a year ago. Not so much today, other than we do still have some of that just light drizzly stuff going on. And the reason for that is a good influx of moisture that has spread across Texas now. And you see the temperatures are significantly warmer than they were yesterday. Right now, 64 here in San Antonio, 70 in Corpus Christi. All the cold stuff's getting pushed back to the north. Still 17 in Bismarck, but that cold stuff is being relegated now to the northern tier of states. As you look outside for you, cloudy and drizzly, 64, southerly winds at 10 miles per hour. In your KSAT 12-hour forecast, we'll take it up to about 70 by 3 p.m. There is a chance for a few peaks of sun by 5, 6 o'clock. Temperatures in the low 70s, and then clouds fill back in tonight. It won't start tomorrow off wet again with some drizzle and fog to start your Wednesday. Guys.
A movie that sparked a multi-million-dollar franchise, as well as the return of a beloved Hollywood actor coming back to theaters this weekend. My son's all about John Wick Chapter 4. Here it comes. The state of California is still in the middle of their weather apocalypse. We're going to catch up on the latest updates as people continue to leave their homes behind due to floods and landslides.
Hello, everyone. These are your top headlines for Cheddar News. The CD is turning 40 years old. The first commercial compact disc was released in Japan back on October 1st, 1982, but they did not make it to the U.S. until March of 1983. The CD serves as an alternative to larger vinyl records and bulkier cassette tapes. When the first CD came out, it could hold up to 74 minutes of music. Meanwhile, Amazon is cutting another 9,000 positions in the coming weeks. The latest round of job cuts are in the cloud computing, HR, advertising, and Twitch live streaming business. Earlier, the company announced job cuts affecting 18,000 employees. And Foot Locker announcing plans to close 400 of their stores by 2026. The company says it'll have a smaller footprint in some shopping malls. This as they close underperforming stores. Foot Locker also looking towards the future with plans to reimagine their brand and become more relevant to younger shoppers. And that's your Cheddar News Update. I'm Baker Machado coming to you from Cheddar Studios in New York City.
Researchers will deploy two-wheeled data collectors at UTSA's main and downtown campus next year. It's all thanks to a new grant. Tiffany Huertas with a look at how that data collected from electric scooters is going to impact our community.
This is just a sample of what data we can collect from some of these sensors: the motion data, temperature data, GPS speed data, location data.
UTSA researchers are turning scooters into data collectors.
The goal is to collect this data and to provide it to scientists around the world to advance research in areas like machine learning, artificial intelligence, urban planning, civil engineering.
Murtuza Jadliwala, Associate Professor of Computer Science at UTSA, is leading this project called Scooter Lab.
There's a funny story behind it. This project was born when I was walking on the UTSA main campus and I almost hit by one of these micromobility scooters. And I was like, we need to put them to better use.
The project recently received a $1.7 million grant from the National Science Foundation.
We've already been contacted and working with people as far away as Australia and as close by as Texas A&M, who are interested in deploying research studies with this test bed.
Next year, students and staff will be seeing these scooters around campus. If you want to use them, you will need to sign a liability waiver and a waiver allowing researchers to collect data.
I'm excited to be a part of the project. It's a big project. There's a lot of technical challenges ahead of us to get the test bed built and up and running. We're planning to deploy the test bed within about 1 year.
Tiffany Huertas, KSAT12 News.
Outside with Lackey, I'm trying to figure out what today would be good for. Although we might be getting a little bit of rain for the aquifer, but what else is
eating soup?
I was about to say, food's about to get involved.
Yeah.
Food.
Yeah, soup, yeah.
A nap.
Gumbo. Yeah, any of that. It is cloudy, it's wet, it's damp. 64 degrees so far today. 53 was the low this morning. Averages are 75 and 53, and we'll probably be below average today because of the cloud cover. The records are 94 and 28. Nowhere near 94. It stays fairly cool, but we will see a warm up and a chance for some spring-like storms coming up. We'll take a look on the other side of the break.
All right. California continuing to be pelted by insane weather. This time, places like Santa Rosa County are dealing with floods, and it comes as landslides are a possibility. Forecasters say the state is getting hit by yet another atmospheric river. To describe it simply, imagine it's a fire hose and it's filled with saturated air from the tropics, and then it's blasted into higher latitude areas, covering where it hits with rain and snow. Sounds lovely. It is the 11th atmospheric river that California has had to deal with this season, and thousands of people are being advised to just leave their homes.
We had conversations with the residents here a few days ago. They all evacuated voluntarily and to the evacuation point at Porterville College.
More than 25 million people in California, Nevada, and Arizona are under alerts for strong winds. The National Weather Service says the San Bernardino Mountains could see up to 4 feet of snow by Wednesday.
They call it an atmospheric river. I know that's not a new term, but it seems like we've heard that a whole lot more over the last couple of months than
It sounds delightful for our drought, though. We could use one.
We could use some of that energy, right? California's basically erased their drought because of that atmospheric river. And it is something that signifies sort of a pattern change, right? As we switch from La Nina more to an El Nino type situation. But they're getting more of that moisture coming into California. We feel some of that, but not the brunt of it. And we've got a little bit of the wet stuff out there today. I want to show you a picture on TransGuide where we've got wet roads. And Stephen mentioned this earlier, but they're along US 90, right at 151. That ramp is closed. But we've seen several crashes today, and especially this morning, because these roads are slick and the drizzle continues. So be careful out there. There's a look at the airport, 64 with drizzle still coming down. Dew point is at 63, and we've got southerly winds right now at about 10 miles per hour. Temperatures are in the 60s area wide, pretty uniform like yesterday because of the cloud cover. Where we do see some breaks in the clouds this afternoon, and that initially will be out west, you'll see some warmer numbers there. 72 right now in Carrizo Springs, 67 New Braunfels, 64 Kerrville, 65 in Hondo, in mid to low 60s here around San Antonio. 24-hour dew point change. This is a pretty big change. We had a lot of moisture shove in overnight. And when you get dew point change of about 26 degrees, you know that is a lot of humidity coming in at once. And that humidity is what leads to the fog and the drizzle and all the cloud cover. And you can certainly feel it out there. So the KSAT 12-hour forecast, 68 degrees at 2 o'clock, 70 at 3 p.m. Maybe, just maybe, a few breaks as we get towards dinner time. That'll push temperatures up into the low 70s, but it clouds right back up overnight, and we do this drizzle thing again tomorrow morning. Maybe it doesn't last as long tomorrow, but we're still going to get some of it, so the commute could be a little bit damp to start your Wednesday, and then we're hopeful for maybe a little better chance of some sun tomorrow afternoon. Here's the big picture. We've got clouds lining up from South Texas all the way up into the plains. You got showers and storms there across parts of Arkansas, and then a few showers here in Texas. Most of it has been very light, but maybe a bit more heavy as you get down towards the coast. A little closer look here locally. There are some breaks starting to take shape up there in Gillespie County. We've noticed that out near Del Rio and Eagle Pass, and some thinning of the clouds in general into the hill country. Timing's everything here, but whether or not those breaks can eventually make their way down to San Antonio is the big question. We'll see. Again, we are hopeful for maybe a few peaks later today. Otherwise, it's going to be humid, and we're going to start off with fog and drizzle most of the mornings through Thursday. It's not until Friday that we finally get a change with the front coming through Friday morning. That brings with it some showers and storms, but it also dries us out. Friday and Saturday, Friday afternoon at least, and then during the day on Saturday should be really nice with some dry air in place. Thursday, as the front comes through, we're going to watch for some showers and storms developing, some of which could be strong. So this area where you see the darker pink, that's where we could see some scattered, stronger storms, more isolated in the hill country. Again, that's not until Thursday, so we have some time to watch this, but it is something we'll be looking for as our next storm system moves in. And right now, the timing for San Antonio, I'd say sometime Friday morning, maybe sunrise to about 10 a.m., about a 40% chance of some showers and storms coming through. And then the drier air pouring in by the afternoon. So the extended forecast, 80 tomorrow, 85 Thursday, our warmest day. That front comes through, chance of storms through Friday morning, then 82 Friday, 81 Saturday, and dry. Some more rain chances show up by the time we get into Sunday and Monday, guys.
Thank you, sir. Didn't get a chance to watch our latest KSAT Explains. We're going to cover some light topics for you. Ooh, you recognize that guy. Our most recent is on the history of Texas town names. We're going to show you where you can learn more.
Do you like action movies? Well, you're in luck this weekend. John Wick Chapter 4 arrives in theaters, and we're going to give you a sneak peek at what this film is about.
Keanu Reeves is back on the big screen this weekend in the fourth film of the John Wick series.
CNN's Rick Damagello on how this movie portrays a dark and violent story with a star-studded cast that might make you sit on the edge of your seat.
I believe in it. I love it. I'm working with amazing artists, and John Wick films are fun. You know what I mean? They're fun. You want to entertain. They're fun.
Keanu Reeves is happily promoting John Wick Chapter 4. Audiences who've seen it early are loving it. It's full of action, more action, and assassins everywhere you turn. One of them is Hong Kong action superstar Donnie Yen, who's been kicking you-know-what now for 41 years.
It's getting harder and harder, but every time I say this film, this is it. I'm not going to do it again. But then I get up and I say, you know what? I'm going to do more.
Japanese star and martial artist Hiroyuki Sanada also adds to the danger. And then there's the friendship between these two.
A man has to look his best when it's time to get married. Or buried.
I'm going to need a gun.
Goodbye, my friend.
And then the ass whooping begins.
It's painful. Making action films is hard. It seemed like a good idea when I was 10. Turns out it sucks. But it's all worth it when you see the end result.
I sat down thinking, well, you know, it'll be great, 2 hours, it'll be, and then wow. I saw it twice, I can't wait to see it again.
The royal blue ribbons worn at this premiere in honor of co-star Lance Reddick, who died last week.
Great man, great artist, dear friend. He's been one of the most beloved members of our John Wick family since we started.
John Wick Chapter 4 is rated R. It's new to theaters this weekend. In Hollywood, George Pinocchio for ABC News.
You have to stand up through that one.
My son cannot wait to see this movie.
That looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You've seen them all, haven't you?
Yes, and you can really pick it up at any one and be able to follow what's happening. Yeah,
Well,
you didn't have to
like
see
1,
the
2,
first
and
one.
3. All right, we have got some great food on the show today, but may not be exactly. Looks can be a little deceiving, I guess
Yes,
you could say.
I know. If you need something to fill you up for Lent, oh yes, Lucas Bradbury from Project Pollo is here.
All right, so what if somebody says it's vegan chicken? How do you convince them?
Oh, no, it's great chicken. It just happens to be made from plants. So it's going to be really good texture, flavors, everything you're looking for in chicken, but made from plants.
And you said first time you come
Somebody
in?
comes in.
It's free, right?
Yeah, let's not tell everybody about the secret, but yeah, you come in, you're unsure, let us know. We've got the meal for you. We're going to help you out and let you taste it.
Okay, very good. And speaking of great tasting food, and Tinsley Lascala from Rose Hip Market is here. Great sandwiches and kind of a coffee shop neighborhood, right?
Yes, absolutely. We want you to come in for your coffee, leave with lunch, and end with your dinner.
Some great grab
Stay
and
all
go
day.
sandwiches
Stay all day.
and salads as well. All right, our next door neighbor has some of the most beautiful silver jewelry right here.
Yes, Plaza Tasco next door has beautiful pieces of silver, and their family is from Tasco. They're in Mexico, which is known for their silver, and we're going to show you what you need to bring with you when you shop for silver to be able to tell if it's real, and you probably have it right there at home.
Yes, indeed. And Jen's going to take us to Rainbow Gardens, how to get those butterflies to come to your house. Plus, we're talking bluebonnets, and more bluebonnets, and we want to see your pictures as well.
All that and more when SA Live continues.